Korrika, especially Korrika.
Yes, this is our first visit to the Korrika, and it's very impressive. We've been to the Rhedadeg in Brittany last year, which is very good, and I think this is the mother of the races. So we would like to have an event like this in Wales. We would like to learn from what the Basque country has done, and the success of the Korrika and the success of the Korrika bringing the Basque community together. Speakers of Basque and people are learning Basque, old and young, town and city and country. And that's what I'd like to have in Wales, something across the nation, which bring people together, learning for the Welsh language. So it's very informative and good for us to be here.
And do you think that it is the same feelings and the same way to understand the language and the union with the country? The same as way in the Basque country and in Britain and in Wales? Is it the same?
Every country is different, but I think we have a lot in common with the Basque country. Wales and the Basque country have about the same number of people, 3 million people, about the same percentage of speakers, 20%, and about the same size as well.
Yeah.
So it's very similar, and we have some industrial areas and some very rural areas. So for us, the Basque country is not only a very good idea to see Korrika, but it's a very good template as well, because there are many similarities, many differences, but many similarities. I think in Wales, thousands of people would like to show their affection for the Welsh language, their love for the language, if they speak the language or they don't. And I think this would be a good way to show people on the ground that the Welsh language is a language for everyone, and they can do something positive for the language.
And how is it language politics in Great Britain, according to small languages?
The language politics in Wales has improved in the last few years, because we now have a National Assembly for Wales. So for the last 10 years, and 4 years in particular, we can take a more strategic look at the language and reviving the language in education, through nursery schools and also outside the school. So a lot of good things have. We've had a new Welsh Language Act in 2011, which gives more status for the language. For the first time ever, Welsh has full status in Wales. There's a new strategy for developing the teaching of the language, and Welsh as a medium in schools. And also there are new strategies in terms of getting people to use the language in their social life and in business as well. So we have to always be careful with the language. There's some very good things happening as well.
And how was the reaction of the people from Wales about the language? Are they active?
Yes, it's different. Some people are not so supportive, but I think most people in Wales are supportive, but there's different degrees. So I think the job for us now, we have the status of the language, we have television in the language, radio in the language, education in the language, and increasingly business in the language. What we need to do is mobilise people to use the language more. So people who maybe speak a little bit of Welsh, to speak more of Welsh, or maybe to send their children to Welsh medium school, and people who can speak Welsh to use it more often, so to normalise the language.
And just last question, how did you get to know the Korrika?
I read about the Korrika about 20 years ago, and I thought this is a good idea, and I hoped somebody in Wales would take it up, but nothing happened. Then I learned that the Bretons had their Rhedadeg, and there's a close relationship between Brittany and Wales because the languages are related, and we thought it's time for Wales to do something. So partners here, Alan works for the Welsh Youth Movement, which is a very, very big and important institution in Wales. People like themselves, people are supportive of the Welsh language education, people at the Welsh language clubs got together. Hopefully we can now move ahead and try to set up the Welsh Korrika in maybe 2 or 3 years' time.
And what did you expect about this, and what do you expect about tomorrow? You're gonna, we're gonna run one of the latest.
Yes, we are the 3 of us from Wales. We'll be bringing the red dragon with us, the red flag, the red dragon flag, and we will be running in Donostia. We're looking forward to that. Not too far, hopefully, but it'll be good. We want to show our love and our support for the Basque country and the Basque people, and show the Welsh people want to learn from the Basque country and want to be a part of the success of the Basque language.
Okay, so good luck, enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Catch you.
Yeah, good.